Hi, and welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. I'm Jay Handelman, the arts editor and theater critic at the Sarasota Herald-Tribune, here with my colleague Carrie Seidman, just back from a brief vacation.
Mental health day or two.
Or I could use one or two, or I could use a couple of hours. And while we're talking today about all the things that are going on, you might hear some clanging in the background. That's because this is, I think, our last program in this building. We're moving out of the Herald-Tribune building this week and into the SunTrust building next door at 1777 Main Street. You can hear it there. It's been kind of, while you've been away, it's been kind of freakish. The desks disappear, boxes pile up, and it's kind of hard to figure out where anything is. But we figured out what's going on this week, so why don't you get us started?
If we sound a little bit scattered, that's our excuse. We had
our minds are in a box.
Pull things out of boxes. We're going to start with a dance entry. The Sarasota Ballet is, they do so many programs every year, and most of them have 3 ballets on a program, so they need a little break in order to do back-to-back programs in the spring. So for the last couple of years, they have brought in and presented another dance company, which they are doing again this year, and it's the Paul Taylor Dance Company, whom they brought in 2 years ago, I think, two or 3 years ago. And Paul Taylor, of course, is one of modern dance's major iconic figures. He is going to be turning 87 this summer and is still creating dances on a regular basis and is still in the studio.
Great.
And so they'll be doing 3 of his works. Brandenburg's, which is a very beautiful, very dancey, modern, strictly dance, abstract dance piece, to Brandenburg concertos, and Black Tuesday, which is based on his memories of the Depression, and some vignettes, kind of Depression-era vignettes to popular music from that time period. And the last one is called Lines of Loss, which one of his dancers told me came from sort of a period when she thought maybe he was considering his own mortality, and kind of touches on a lot of the losses that we all experience in life. So that is Friday through Monday at the FSU Center. Some of the performances are sold out, but they did add a performance Monday night. So I know there are tickets still left for that one. So
kind of like the loss of our building here. Maybe I should go see that just for. And there's another dance.
Oh yeah, there is if you're into something a little more classical, the Russian National Ballet will be performing Swan Lake at the Van Wezel on, I've forgotten what day, on Tuesday, sorry. On Tuesday.
Open the box.
I can't, you find it in the box. I can't really vouch for that performance because I don't know that company. After the breakup of the Soviet Union, there were a number of companies that sort of claimed to be the Russian National Ballet.
And they all have like very similar names, right?
Yeah,
like, so the Russian National Ballet, there's a National Russian Ballet or something.
Personally, for me, if it's not the Bolshoi and it's not the Kirov, it's not top level, but I'm not saying this could be a great performance. And anyway, if you are into another Swan Lake, that's Tuesday at the Van Wezel.
Okay. Something quite different from that, at the Manatee Players in their small Kiwanis Studio Theater, their little black box theater, they're doing Margaret Edson's play Wit, which won the Pulitzer Prize, and it's about a college literature professor, poetry professor, who discovered she has ovarian cancer, and it's sort of about the last hours or days of her life and her experiences of discovering that she has cancer, what they can and can't do for her, and her relationships with the doctors and the nurses and people she worked with. And she's a very solitary individual. It can be a very powerful piece. Pam Wiley, who directs in the area, is directing the production with Lynn Doyle, who's also a frequent performer. I've seen her do lots of things. She's playing Vivian Baring, and that's playing through March 12th at the Manatee Performing Arts Center.
I found it a very powerful show, although someone took me when I was undergoing cancer treatment, which might not be the best time to go.
Or sometimes maybe it,
Well, it was
could be
it
helpful.
was
Maybe it's
okay.
inspiring.
It didn't. It was a little startling because she didn't tell me it was a play about
that
a
would be
cancer
terrible.
patient. So I didn't realize till I got
would
there
never
what
do
I was
that.
in for.
But sometimes
but you know what? It
people
was still
react to
good.
things you never know, and it's just something. There's a line in a play that's about nothing important to anybody's life, and there's one line that somebody responds to, and you're just like, I never would have thought.
It was actually
You mentioned
very,
the bench.
very relatable as a cancer patient. So,
Good play.
In the musical arena.
Not in Armenia.
No, in Estonia, as a matter of fact. The next Masterworks concert from the Sarasota Orchestra is called Estonian Voices. And of course, the musical director of the Sarasota Orchestra is Anu Tali, who is from Estonia, and she is bringing in a group called the Estonian Philharmonic Chamber Choir, which has been on tour in the U.S. And is making a stop in Sarasota to sing with the orchestra. On Thursday night at the Neal Auditorium in Bradenton, and on Friday through Sunday at the Van Wezel. And they'll be doing everything from Arvo Part to Mozart.
Great.
So, yeah.
Sounds interesting. For those fans of photography and specifically Andy Warhol, this is a great time to be in Sarasota because there are 2 exhibits coming. The first one is called Homage to Andy Warhol. It's going to be at the Willis Smith Gallery at Ringling College, and it's a collection of photos and images that are sort of emulating or inspired by Warhol's work. Some of them are artists that he photographed or was photographed with. Then there's another exhibit. They're also accompanied by audio tracks that sort of explain what they're all about. And then in a couple of weeks at the Ofstad and Contemporary Gallery, there's another exhibit called Remembering Warhol, which is photos by a photographer, which we'll talk more about soon, who took pictures at his funeral of all the celebrities. There were hundreds of people there at Warhol's funeral.
Wow.
And they took them for Vanity Fair magazine, and Vanity Fair wasn't excited by these pictures, which have now become iconic. So it's a great time for Warhol. And the Ringling College exhibit, the 15 Minutes Homage to Andy Warhol, is running through March 18th at Ringling College.
And back to the musical side, Ken Tritle, who is the organist for the New York Philharmonic, is going to be playing here. He has a bunch of titles. He's like the director of cathedral music at St. John the Divine in New York, and I can't remember the other titles, but anyway,
that's enough. That should be enough.
Among organists, he's very much the elite, and he is going to be playing Sunday at Church of the Palms, and then on Monday, he'll be doing one of the Sarasota Institute for Lifelong Learning Musical Mondays with June LaBelle, which is kind of an interview and sometimes music too.
Actually doing 2 because in the afternoon there's another program.
Oh, that's right. There's one in Venice as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, so don't miss Ken Tritle if you're into organ music.
And if you're into guitar music, the Guitar Sarasota continues its international series of presentations with Marco Sartor, is a Uruguayan? I'm not sure how you say that. It's from Uruguay. Guitarist.
Better way to say it.
This is their 11th International Classical Guitar season, and that's going to be Saturday at 7:30 at the Unitarian Universalist Church. They do a series of 4 main concert programs at the church, and they've been selling out in the last couple of years. And then they do a series of more low-key concerts and lectures that are done at Crocker Memorial Church. So that's something to be. This is a major award-winning performer who teaches and performs all over the world. So we're lucky to have him here.
And I'm sure there are many more things to see this weekend. We just couldn't find them in our boxes, but you can find them.
We have to finish packing the boxes. That's why we have to stop now.
You can find more about these and other events at heraldtribune.com/arts or /ticket and in the Sunday Arts section. And we will see you next week from a new locale.